welcome to MorningFile. I'm your host, Emma McCarty, and today I am joined with Jordan M. Burns and Shayna Burns to discuss their upcoming play, Take Me to Your Garden, coming to Hamilton Fringe in 2021. So to start, maybe just for those who don't know, what is Hamilton Fringe? How did you guys get involved with Hamilton Fringe?
Well, Hamilton Fringe is a festival in which creators from all over the world really can come and put up anything that they want to perform and have an audience come and check it out. 100% of the proceeds that go towards purchasing tickets are given back to the artists. So it is very much a community-driven festival that highlights young creators or old creators or any creators.
Yeah, any creators. There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how did you guys come to be involved with Hamilton Fringe?
So we started a theater company back in 2019. And we had a show that we just submitted to a whole bunch of different Fringe festivals. And Hamilton Fringe was the one that we got into. And so we were like, okay, cool. And then we really like the community. So now we've just continued to submit to them and kept circling back just because our first time there, just by chance, we really loved the community that lives in Hamilton.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I guess let's talk about the obvious. Your play, Take Me to Your Garden. What is that about?
Great. So Take Me to Your Garden is a piece that explores the world of someone who's living with PTSD. It's the story of our main character, Darla, who is navigating through her dissociative mind. And it exists both in the past, the present, and in the future, where we try and piece together little fragments of really personality and who this person is after this traumatic event. And it sounds kind of like a dark, like really a broken story, but it's this story that also explores the beauty that exists in the world and the beauty that exists within people as they're trying to find themselves. With it being Take Me to Your Garden, Darla's garden is this magical, wondrous place that has these flowers that hold her memories for her. So if something's too heavy or too emotional, she can pass it off to these flowers and re-experience it just through their contact. But it becomes a little bit difficult to navigate when her partner starts to ask to be let into the garden. And the story surrounds those interactions and the fallout from those behaviors.
Yeah, so obviously it's a big, deep topic, and maybe without giving anything away, what are you hoping that people take away from the play?
Well, I would say honestly that people go through things in their own ways and in very different ways. This play kind of emerged from myself. Like I'm someone who has PTSD, and I find that mine manifested in a very different way than what I was seeing represented on stage. And so we kind of took that, and we never actually straight out talk about PTSD in the piece, but you can tell that like there's something there. Mm-hmm. And so I would say that's probably one of my big things that I hope people take away, is that everyone who has experienced some kind of trauma may be processing it in different ways and showing it in different ways than what we stereotypically are used to, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I would say what I want people to take away is the individuality of the piece. While some people may be okay bearing everything and telling you their deepest, darkest secrets right away, other people aren't. And that's okay. And if someone isn't comfortable sharing something, you shouldn't put pressure on them to do so, because it only alters any kind of relationship that exists there.
Yeah, for sure. So where I know you mentioned a bit that you had PTSD, where did the idea of the play originate? How did you guys come up with it?
So it might sound a little strange, but it it kind of came out of nowhere, I guess you could say. I was talking to my dad one day, and it just kind of came out that I was like, well, what if something else held your memories for you? And that's kind of what flashbacks are, is when you remember out of nowhere. And if you could just give those to someone else, you feel like, done, don't need to think about it anymore. And then that's when we came upon like, oh, well, mystical garden, why the heck not? So it honestly, it kind of came out of nowhere that I was just talking to my dad, just word vomiting, I guess you could say. And it just came up that, what if you could just give these to someone else and just forget that they exist?
Great idea.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, I don't want this anymore. You have it. Thanks. And that's kind of where it just snowballed effect from there.
Yeah. So what's it been like creating a play during a pandemic? And even you guys said you opened up your theater company in 2019. So obviously a year later you were hit with everything. What's that been like?
It's been very strange, to say the least, to adapt. So our training is primarily in devised physical theater. So we just create things using our bodies, and they're weird, and like we get to explore all of those things, and it's excellent to do in the space. But what do you do when you don't have that space? Mm-hmm. Well, you have to create a new space online. So it's given us the opportunity to both explore the abilities that online offers. Like, for instance, last summer we did a short film called Tell Me There's a Garden that is kind of a play off of Take Me to Your Garden. And that would have never been done if we didn't have the pandemic. So we started to create in different ways. And now what we're seeing with Take Me to Your Garden is, even though it will be filmed live on stage, it will then be streamed. So we've started to take those other tools that we've gotten from the online mediums and applied them to our own creative practices. So I'm thinking we're going to see something really unique when it comes to putting Take Me to Your Garden up on stage and then up for people to stream in the Hamilton Fringe Festival.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's something I've been seeing a lot of. Even though people originally, it was just a ton of hurdles, people have been able to adapt and create something more, something that we never even would have thought of, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess then my last question for you guys is, where can people go to learn more about your company as well as the play?
To learn more about the company, we primarily use Instagram. You can follow us at Third Wheel Theater Co. You can also like our Facebook page at Third Wheel Theater Co. as well. And we have our event that gives a bunch of information regarding the play and when it's up, everything that you'll need to know, also on Facebook at Take Me to Your Garden Hamilton Fringe 2021.
That was Jordan and Shayna Burns talking about their play, Take Me to Your Garden, coming to Hamilton Fringe 2021. To learn more about the play, you can visit any of their social media linked down below. For more CFMU content, you can visit cfmu.ca and make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a video.